Hi everyone, this is Leslie here with PrayNite for a basic astrology lesson covering the sun, moon, and ascendant signs. I thought it'd be fun to compare two public figures as we explore and learn about these placements in the astrology chart. I chose Madonna and Princess Diana as they're both strong, well-known women, but with very different astrology charts. A good baseline of understanding astrology in your own chart is to understand the placement of your sun, moon, and ascendant. In today's lesson, we're going to look at the sun, moon, and ascendant in each of these two charts, discuss what each planet represents, and the significance and where it is located in their chart. This slide is showing their overall birth charts, and right away you can see the difference. If you look at Madonna's chart on the left-hand side, you can see that most of her planets reside in the left-hand quadrant of her chart, specifically the 12th house. Whereas in Princess Diana's chart, on the right-hand side, you see that the planets are more balanced. But even so, the majority of her natal planets reside on the right-hand quadrant. Throughout this short lesson, I will also have each of their photos above the charts as we explore. As humans, we can intuitively see the spirit and energy from a person's face and have an understanding on a deeper level. You will understand clearer as we start digging in. Okay, let's start looking at the sun sign for each celebrity. First of all, what is the sun sign? Well, the technical astrological meaning is the life force energy of a person. It's where we find our greatest satisfaction. We are all familiar with our sun sign based on the day that we were born. In fact, it's what the Western world focuses on and is where we go to find out what our horoscope reading is for the day, the week, or the month. Though it is only one small aspect of our chart, since most of you know your sun sign, I want to start here. Looking at Madonna's chart on the left-hand side, you see her sun sign is in Leo. Let's talk about Leo for a minute. Leo is a fire sign. What does that mean? There are 4 elements to describe the signs. They are either earth, water, air, or fire. If you picture these elements in your mind, you can feel what kind of energy they bring. Earth, being grounded and solid, holding things together. A place where things can grow and manifest. When you walk on earth, you feel grounded and safe. Water, on the other hand, is fluid and flowing. It evokes feelings in an emotional way. You can see how the ocean's tides change with the moon, especially during a full moon. Air, being what we breathe, all around us, constant and changeable. Just feeling the energy of the weather, always alerting us to conditions in the Earth's atmosphere. And lastly, fire, being alive and hot, and burning through whatever crosses its path. When you watch something burn, you can feel the heat and energy that it takes to disintegrate what's burning. Okay, so now that you have a basic understanding of the 4 elements in astrology, let's go back to looking at Madonna's chart first. You can see Madonna's sun sign, or life force energy, is in the sign of Leo, a fire sign ruled by the sun. So from what we just saw, fire is dynamic and fleeting and active. Leo is the showman sign, the sign of drama and seeking out attention. Loving admirer's eyes, being the king. Leo is also a very open-hearted sign. Leos are one of the most generous of all the signs in the zodiac. With Madonna being in the public eye as a performer, you can see how this fits as her life force energy is placed here. The last thing I want to mention in respect to Madonna's sun is that it is placed in a very misunderstood house, the 12th house. This house is the last of the houses in the zodiac. In astrology, it is seen as a very caring and compassionate house, and also the house of the subconscious or the hidden. Having her life force energy in this house could indicate something hidden or mysterious about her, or possibly that even though she loves the spotlight in performing, she may actually prefer to have or keep a low profile. There is some evidence of this, as outside of her onstage persona, she is pretty private, unlike the Kardashians who make their private life public. So, now let's look at the sun placement for Princess Diana. You can see that her sun, or life force energy, is in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is a water sign. As you remember, this is the sign of emotional fluidity. As Cancer is ruled by the moon, it is all about emotional caring and nurturing. With the sun placement here, she comes alive with care and compassion for others. Now let's look at what house her sun resides in. As you can see, the sun is in her 7th house. This is the house of partnership and the other, relating to another on a one-to-one relationship. Having her sun in this house can indicate that she preferred to be compassionate in her one-to-one relationships and out of the public eye. Knowing enough about her life when she was here, you can see how this can make sense. I often say that you can see someone's life force energy looking in their eyes. Take a look at both women and see how what we just discussed shows up in their eyes. You can see the mystery in Madonna's eyes and the compassionate soul of Princess Diana. Okay, on to the moon sign. What does the moon sign represent in astrology? If you remember back to Princess Diana, I talked about the sign of Cancer being ruled by the moon and emotions. The moon is our emotional body, basically how we feel our way through life. The moon moves quickly, changing signs every 2 to 3 days, and is why we have fluctuating feelings throughout the week. And because the moon moves so swiftly, to see where your moon sign falls in your natal chart, you will need to know your exact birth time to find out where it's placed for you. Starting with Madonna, you can see that her moon sign is in Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. And as you remember from earlier, this is about being grounded and solid. Virgo is the sign of the perfectionist. The purest nature of Virgo is looking to perfect all of the details that make up the whole. When we look at the house placement of her moon, you see it is in the 1st house, close to the ascendant. This is the house of self, the physical body. And knowing enough about Madonna, we know how she works hard to perfect her physique. When looking at her physicality, she is solid. She has been said to pay much attention to her physical exercise routine and is dedicated to stay in shape. Knowing that her moon resides here, you can see how she emotionally feels good when she is paying attention to her physical health. As the house of self, when the spotlight is on her, she feels good. Also, having her moon in Virgo in the 1st house can mean she is always perfecting her appearance, which would be affected by her mood or vice versa. And knowing how she has changed her looks over the years can be understood by her moon placement here. With her sun sign in Leo, the sign of performance and showmanship, combining with her moon in her 1st house, you can see her dedication to perfecting her performance on stage. Now on to Princess Diana. You can see that her moon sign is in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. And as you remember from earlier, this is all about alerting us to various conditions in the Earth's atmosphere. Aquarius is the sign of the humanitarian and bringing people together. Having the moon sign here, ruled by Saturn, can indicate emotional determination and steadiness. When we look at the house placement of her moon, you see it is in the 2nd house of life's work, service, and income. How our life's work provides for us financially. It is also the house of self-worth and independence from another. Putting all of this information together, you can see how Princess Diana felt emotionally well when she was helping others and making it her life's work. She had an emotional dedication and steadiness to her efforts, and it's where she felt at home. With her sun sign in Cancer, combining her nurturing life force energy, you can see her come alive just looking at these two planets in her chart. Now we move on to the final analysis. Here is where we will look at the ascendant, or otherwise known as the rising sign in each of their charts, noted by the AC. First of all, what is the ascendant sign? It's where the sun was rising when you were born. It is the mask you wear when first meeting others. For example, when you first meet someone, they immediately get a sense of who you are. In essence, they are seeing your ascendant sign. Do you ever wonder why people think you are something that you're not when they first meet you? Well, that's because immediately they see your ascendant and only get to understand your complete self further into the relationship. If you have your sun and or moon sign in the first house, which is the house after the ascendant, you will not feel the scenario I just mentioned, and people will know more of the real you upon meeting you. Let's start by looking at Madonna's birth chart. You will see her ascendant sign is in Virgo, where her moon resides. We call this a conjunction. Her need for perfection and attention to detail is seen right off the bat, so people will be tapped into her emotional body pretty quickly. This is a good thing for Madonna, since people will sense her particular nature right from the get-go. As I said before, the ascendant is the mask we wear, so having her ascendant in an earth sign of Virgo will say about how her physical body is made up. When you see her physique, you see strength and notice the details in her muscularity, in her arms, legs, etc. This is a good representation of a Virgo ascendant. Virgo also rules the nervous system. Being ruled by Mercury, there is a lot of mental energy from the Virgo ascendant. They may have trouble calming their monkey mind as they're constantly looking to improve what they see around them. Now let's move to Princess Diana's birth chart. You see her ascendant is in Sagittarius, which is a fire sign. Her philosophical side and need to live for her beliefs is shown to the public immediately. There's also a witty, humorous side to Sagittarius that can be apparent when meeting her. With her sun sign in Cancer and moon in Aquarius, you can see how living for her beliefs and caring and compassion for humanity is so evident in her personality. So, now you've had a brief overview of two influential women in our society, each expressing their strength differently. Even though, as you can see how there is so much more to be expressed in a natal chart, understanding these three aspects will give you enough to get a gist of your own natal chart. So I want to thank you for watching, and I hope this short tutorial gave you some insight into your own natal birth chart. If you're interested in learning more or getting a personal natal chart analysis, please contact me at PrayNite.com, or you can send me an email at info@PrayNite.com. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Facebook at PrayNite. Until next time, bye-bye.